January 1980. 4 people lost their lives during an oil blockade as part of the Assam agitation. October 2011. 4 farmers were killed and 8 others were injured while they were protesting against minimum support price. January 2018. 2 protesters in Assam's Dima Hasao died after the police fired at them during demonstrations against an RSS activist's comment and the secret killings that tormented the people of Assam from 1998 to 2001 claimed nearly 400 lives. Now, apprehensions have been raised on police's actions on December 13, 2019. On January 24, authorities of the Guwahati Medical College finally handed over the post-mortem report of 16-year-old Sam Stafford to his family members. Sam was one of the 5 killed in police firings in Assam during protests against the Citizenship Amendment Act. The report that came after over a month of Sam's death left his family members shattered. The post-mortem report states that Sam was assaulted before being shot twice, first on his chin, another on his back.
Post-mortem report paye to amar mane ami shock khai gisu. Ekhon post-mortem report yate report bur lekha ase 8 ke report yate kot ki dup paise kenekwa ki korise horu loratok iman ottachar kori kine marise plus tak ekdom punnor pa usoror pa tak guli aise post-mortem report to sotyor kotha to kobo na doctor to aro etu bonai to nui die na hoy ta life or kotha ase ta sakori kotha ase doctor to etu amak report to jetia dise jor dak ghail korise yate lekhai ase gutekhini কিন্তু একদম তাক শূন্যৰ পৰা গুলি আছে তাৰ মানে কি তাক ধৰি কিনে অত্যাচাৰ কৰাৰ পিছতহে তাক মাৰ্ডাৰ কৰা নিচিনা হৈছে আলটিমেটলি কেটা গুলি দুটা গুলি এটা ইয়াত লাগিছে আৰু পিঠিত এটা আছে গুলি প্ৰথম মাৰা হৈছে এটো প্ৰথমতে তাক মাৰি লৈছে ৰাখিখিনি মাৰিছে তাৰ পিছত পেনকা পৰি গল যেতিয়া পৰি যোৱাৰ পিছত তাক অলপ মানে জিওটো আছে সাকে তাৰ পিছত আকৌ পিছফালৰ পৰা তাক মাৰিছে ইয়াতে আমি গা ধুৱাইছো ঠিক আছে ইয়াত গা ধুৱাৰ পিছত ইয়াতে তার গুটেবোৰ এইবোৰ পানী চানিবোৰ পৰি আছে তাক গা ধুৱাৰ পিছত তাক যেতিয়া কাপোৰ পিন্ধাও তাৰ পিঠিত ইমান ডাঙৰ এটা ফুটা এই লৰাটো দুটা গুলি মাৰাৰ উদ্দেশ্য কি এই সৰু লৰাটো তাৰ আমাৰ কৈফত লাগিব
Meanwhile, Sam's mother, who is still in a shock of losing her elder child, questions the brutality meted out to her son and seeks early justice.
মোৰ লৰা গুলিয়াবলে হিয়তে অধিকাৰ কোট পালে দুটাকে গুলি মাৰিছে কি দুখ কৰিছে কি কোনো উগ্ৰপন্থী নহয় কোনো গুণ্ডা লুচ্ছা নহয় গতিকে মোৰ বিনা কাৰণৰ লৰাটো মাৰিছে গতিকে মোক ন্যায় লাগে আজি যদি হেখন সৰকাৰৰ যদি লৰা চলি যদি বুকৰ পে আতৰি যায় যোনটো ডিপাৰ্টমেন্টৰ পুলিচে নামাৰক হিয়তৰ যদি বাচ্চাগিটা আতৰি যায় হিয়তৰ কেনে লাগিব জেপি সিংয়ে হক আমাৰ আসাম পুলিচে হক জুনে নামাৰক মোক ন্যায় লাগে মোৰ বেটা নিৰ্দোষী বেটা মাত্ৰ 17 বছৰ তাৰ বয়স কি ক্লাস 9 ত পঢ়ি আছে
According to Syed Burhanur Rahman, advocate of the Guwahati High Court, a judicial inquiry is the only way to cull out the truth.
As far as the this case is concerned that you have referred to, Sam Stafford case is concerned, I think that that person, when you have section 144 imposed, that means that 5 or more than 5 persons should not gather together. This goes against that spirit. So even if suppose if we say that 144 was imposed during that relevant period, we also have to find out whether Sam Stafford was also part of that gathering where more than 5 people were there. One. Second thing is that as per various newspaper reports, he actually came to Latasil field to see his singer that idols Zubeen Garg. So after participating or after seeing his that idol Mr. Zubeen Garg, he was returning back home. So there is all possibility and probability that maybe even 5 people were not gathered during that time. He was probably going to his house in Hatigaon with his friend probably, and he was returning back, and during that time he was assaulted and he was killed. It's a kind of cold-blooded murder as per the various newspaper reports. So therefore I believe that to cull out the truth, it's very important to establish a judicial inquiry or judicial committee headed by some retired high court judges, and then probably the actual truth will come out.
Tragedy struck 4 other families on December 13, 2019, when youths protesting against the Citizenship Amendment Act fell prey to stray bullets during separate police firings across Assam. The families now share a tragedy of losing a loved one.
See, as far as the police switching off the light is concerned, that itself is illegal in my understanding, because street light is something which is for the security of the citizens. The street light can give you or directly will give you access to various people, and would in fact would be helpful for the those enforcement authorities to find out or identify the antisocial element, if any. What they have done is that they switch off the street light, and in fact that in that way they aided those antisocial people to indulge in violence. Most of the people who were protesting during that time in the daytime, they were citizens and they were non-violent in nature. So there is all possibility that a very minuscule number of people who are antisocial in nature, they try to mislead or they try to divert the whole protest to some other or to take it to some other extent, and they indulge in violence, and police in a way, rightly or wrongly, aided them.
EastMojo also approached the Commissioner of Police of Guwahati, Munna Prasad Gupta, to ask him about police's role during such situations and clarifications regarding the apprehensions made on police.
So there are procedure laid down in the law under CRPC and various other laws to deal with the various kind of issues. So all these things are governed as per CRPC, and police acts as per CRPC. If it is a peaceful protest, if the protesters have taken permission, if permission is required, then they are allowed, and if somebody violates law, then action as per law is taken.
So there has been
Gupta, however, refused to take more than one question and did not respond on being asked about the apprehensions.
Please, sir, one more, sir. Sorry. Thank you.
Azad Khan was just 12 years old when he was picked up from his house, dragged to a nearby field, beaten up and shot at by a combined team of 21 soldiers of Manipur Police and 21 Assam Rifles in Imphal West in March 2009. Azad was then a student of 7th standard at Phobakchao High School, with no criminal antecedents as per reports.
Actually, 2009 class 6 Havel Kare. 2009 की मार्च की तांग मरी दनी महक लेती सी मसी पुंग तरामात हुई मिल निफु मंगा मुक्ता बादायदा नहीं महक नुमिसी महक ने स्कूल सत्री बमरम सी 10 की प्रखा थाबा हो बनुमित ताई 2009 की क्लास 10 की अदुदा ओजांग है सी कोई 10 थाबा कांगबु की सत्खे बगी मोई सुती होई बगी महक नुमिसी लाई बनी योंदा Manipur
is another state that has been crippled by such incidents. Between 1979 and 2012, more than 1,500 people were allegedly killed in extrajudicial executions by security personnel in Manipur. From 2004 to 2007, following the mothers' protests, there were a series of military operations in Manipur, some of which include Operation Tornado, Operation Somtal and several others. Although reports of such incidences have reduced in the last decade, there are still 1,528 cases of extrajudicial executions being heard in the Supreme Court of India for the past 8 years. Bablu Loithongbam, who has been the voice of such families, has been documenting human rights violations in Manipur for over a decade now. He believes that there is a need for strict compliance of guidelines that already exist.
In Manipur, particularly in the valley, since the late 70s, there has been some documentation by human rights groups, and we have been able to get an idea about it. We have now placed before the Supreme Court of India 1,528 extrajudicial executions, but this is only the tip of the iceberg. After we have already filed, more than 200 cases have also come and registered. I mean, families have come and registered with us that these are cases. So we are talking in the order of thousands in Manipur. This is killings, but in terms of torture, it's much more number. Documenting rape has been particularly difficult because of the stigma involved in it. People would rather keep quiet and endure the pain silently rather than coming out in the public and then again re-traumatize and face all the stigmas and the humiliation that goes with this kind of abuses. So we are talking in terms of, not in terms of tens and hundreds, but in the order of thousands at least.
At times like these, the faith of the public hangs by a thread. However, there is always a ray of light at the end of the long dark tunnel. While the Supreme Court has tightened its grip towards armed forces personnel in Manipur, where the Apex Court ordered a CBI probe by a special investigation team into 98 alleged extrajudicial killings, strict compliance to the existing norms may put an end to such hazards.
I think there is, first of all, need for very strict compliance to the norms that exist. There are extraordinary laws like the Armed Forces Special Powers Act which needs to go, but also there are clear guidelines on the use of force. For example, when you are shooting into the crowd, you should be shooting below the belt. You should be aiming on the ground. You cannot just randomly shoot at eye level. Then you will hit at the vital parts of the human body. So unfortunately, these guidelines are not even followed. So there are two levels. One, of course, you need to get rid of this draconian laws and this practice of imposing 144 for decades together. We see this very often in the Northeast, whereas these are extraordinary measures which should be taken up for a temporary measure, and there should be a sunset clause, meaning that it should automatically die after a certain period of time. It cannot continue endlessly. But also there is also a need for strict compliance to whatever guidelines that exist today. And there should be proper investigation when somebody gets killed, when a citizen gets killed in police firing in a protest, then there should be proper investigation to pinpoint and find out whether the people who are using lethal forces are in fact using in a lawful manner, or if they exceed the power that is given to them by the law.
Meanwhile, in search of justice, Sam's family in Guwahati have registered a case at Hathigaon police station and have also decided to approach the Human Rights Commission.